Hello, everybody, and welcome to Spiritual Successor. We just had a massive technical difficulty. AJ, you and I were just recording a podcast episode, and we lost the first 15 minutes. And it's a real shame because you and I were actually reforming our himbo energies.
Yeah, that's right. We were going to do that episode as a chast episode. We were going to do that one like all boys, no butts, no bad energies, no horny allowed, period.
We realized that the last two episodes were probably the raunchiest ones that we've ever made.
And we can do better.
You know, we can. We are two good, wholesome, maybe, boys.
We're not wholesome. We know that much from the last 2 weeks. But that doesn't mean, we're multidimensional, right? Like, we can be nasty and be funny.
That's yeah. I was gonna say we can be horny but also wholesome, but different prerogatives, I guess.
No, it's not it's and then. You know what I mean? Like, we need to change our gears, so we need to rebrand.
But that still applies.
Nasty AJ and podcasting AJ need to be two separate entities, and I need to just separate my brain.
Well, AJ,
on and off.
I know we were talking about the last two episodes being our horny episode, but that's been your brand since Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
And it's time to rebrand. We've been at this for a year now.
Then Blake. We're not Spiritual Successor, boyo. It's you, the horny boy, and me, the grandpa, I guess. The hugs. I don't know.
I'm rebranding. You can't tie me down. I'm right. AJ, the good boy now, and I've never done a bang ever.
You've never done a bang?
And I never would.
What is a bang?
I don't know. I'm too little to know. I'm too little and innocent to know what that means anymore.
All right.
Oh, I'm just a little baby. I don't know anything.
For those who don't know, we are a comedy video game design podcast inspired by Polygon's Cool Games, Inc., where we take your lovely ideas from the internet, from Twitter. Oh, fuck, that's another thing we missed. AJ finally said it. He said we accept your submissions from YouTube.
Said what?
You finally said we can accept the YouTube submissions. Those are our official channels.
No, I don't think we have any documentation or evidence of that one, actually. Check again.
If you talk like this for an hour, I'm going to lose my gourd.
But I'm a little baby now.
No, you're a grown-ass man who pays taxes. Shut up.
As you've certainly guessed by now, we are a comedy video game design podcast where we take your lovely submissions from Twitter, Reddit, and email.
And YouTube.
Not official channels. And we turn those into the next AAA video game titles.
All right. AJ, take us away.
That's me. Don't wear my name out. It's a very small and brittle name. It'll snap right in half.
All right. What?
My name? It's very little and small. Please don't wear it out. It's very easily broken.
I don't know how to take that.
There used to be a lot more letters on this bad boy, but on my way to get to fame and popularity, people kept on saying my name and kept on wearing it out, and now I just got the dang 2 letters left.
All right, Mr. Hollywood, give us a game submission.
Yeah. You know what, Blake? Actually, why don't you go first? Because you were going to go first before our data corrupted, so I want you to have the first shot again.
All right. In spirits of our chast episode, I'm going to try and return to this idea that you and I discussed before our episode went corrupted. It comes from, on Twitter, I am not witty enough for a funny name, at ARP1033. Make a game so unhorny that no one could possibly make Rule 34 out of it.
This is the Kobayashi Maru.
What?
This is a Kobayashi Maru, a non-solvable puzzle. You know Star Trek, right?
I don't even think you know Star Trek.
That's okay. I've seen one Star Trek movie, and in that one it had the Kobayashi Maru. So that's how I know this.
So the only winning move is not to play kind of thing?
Yeah, you have to change the rules of the game, right? Because the Kobayashi Maru is some cool flight simulation that's unwinnable. So Captain Kirk has to hack into the Matrix, and he has to put in cheat codes, and he has to put on big head mode, turn on zero gravity.
Wait, isn't this the
activate speed mode?
Isn't this the thing where the guy spent basically 100 years within this game?
What? No.
I think that's also
that's Sword Art Online.
That's not Sword Art Online. But okay, so the argument
and here so is,
he
is hacked
that
in.
Are you saying that no game cannot be hornified. That's
I'm saying that no game cannot be hornified because before this last episode corrupted, you and I found out very tragically that somebody in the world managed to look at the game Thomas Was Alone, a game with blocks, a block scam,
but they
blocks,
also had
squares,
lovely
blocks.
personalities. Like they were so cute. Like a couple of them had crushes on one another, and another one wanted to be a superhero. How fucking adorable is that?
That's really cute. Apparently too cute though, because somebody said, "What if those blocks really wanted to round off those edges?" So
that's what I'm gonna call getting jiggy now. Like,
rounding off the edges.
Yeah, when I'm texting a person I wish to be intimate with, I will be, "Hey, do you want to round off our edges?" And they'll look at me like, no, go fuck yourself. Leave me alone."
No, I don't know what that means. I'm calling the police.
Rounding off your edges also sounds like a drug term. It's like, hey, you want to round off some edges? So so the thing we're coming to realize here is that there's no game that cannot be made unhorny.
Yeah, but maybe there's a different option.
Oh, actually, I have a game.
Can we just delete horny people?
No.
Okay.
It was National Horny Day on Twitter the other day, and I don't know if
what a way to send them off. They got one last holiday. Now we need to get rid of all of them. The Twitter evidence of who's who is there.
AJ, you know what would happen if we deleted horny people?
We would eventually have to take ourselves out, and I understand that.
But the podcast couldn't go on. It would be done. Like, you and I would cease to exist.
You're right.
Then there will be a spiritual successor to a spiritual successor, which actually isn't a bad way to go. But like, I actually have a game. I would love to make a game that's infuriating. And so the game starts up. There's no graphics. There's nothing. It's just a blank white screen, and you hear sound effects anytime you like try and move. So it's like you are playing a person that is interacting with things or solving puzzles but cannot see those puzzles.
Oh shit.
So you have to maybe you have to go off of the sounds you hear to solve the puzzles. So like,
yeah, because I bet you nobody made porn of Zork.
The fuck is Zork?
It's a text-based adventure. I know about it because in Call of Duty Black Ops 2, you could break out of the chair and you could walk over to a little computer and you could play Zork on it.
Wait, actually, I do know Zork. That's like one of the first text-based adventures ever made, right?
Yeah. Hey, can we just talk about how fucking sick that was in Call of Duty Black Ops 2 when you could just like struggle out of the chair and go play Zork?
Just like until they come back.
Why was that there? No, that was in the menu.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the main menu.
I totally remember this. Yeah.
I don't know why that was there, but that was so goddamn incredible.
Dude, like, it's people just like doing cool shit. Easter eggs are cool, man.
Yeah.
So it's a game about solving puzzles that you cannot see. There's no personality. So it'll be just like Myst. Actually, I think Myst had a story where you get to meet people, but I don't remember. But there's your game. AJ, you got another one for us?
Yeah, I got another submission for us.
All right, cool. It has to be not horny.
Not horny submission.
Fucking nasty man.
This one comes from Dan the Man on Twitter at FredAiry960460015. They gave this to us on 4/10/20.
Hey.
I've activated a sleeper cell somewhere in the world. I don't know who. I don't know when. And I super hope that their mission isn't to kill me, but they've been activated.
We'll find out once quarantine's over.
Henchman Sim. A puzzler where your boss follows none of the rules on the evil overlord list. You, as the henchman, must figure out a way to make sure the hero dies without your boss throwing a fit that he didn't get to do monologue.
Oh, so you're just like... This sounds like Venture Bros, where like the Monarch is always trying to kill the Ventures, but basically always fails. So it's like...
Well,
is it something like that where the henchmen turn out to be the more effective ones in every scenario?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not entirely certain. I wanted to focus on this one, though, because it came with a link to evillord.com. And there is a list of the top 100 things I'd do if I ever became an evil overlord.
Oh, wait. So it's like a checklist of like bettering. It's like a how-to on how to be a evil overlord.
Yeah, give me a number and I'll tell you the rule that comes with it.
It's 1 to 100?
Yeah.
All right, how about this? I
swear to God, if you say 69, Blake, on our non-horny episode.
I have dice.
Okay. Hit me with the dice.
All right. I'm gonna roll the bones on horny or not, and the answer is 61. Too close for comfort.
If my advisor asks, why are you risking everything on such a mad scheme? I will not proceed until I have a response that satisfies them. So I guess, like, if you're an evil
like
overlord...
advice. This isn't, like, satire advice.
Yeah, no, like, you are a henchman that knows the 100 rules, and you're going to make sure that your evil, like, your boss actually fucking follows them. Because, yeah, if someone's asking you why you're doing something so crazy as the evil overlord, you should sit down and discuss with them why you are going to dip Indiana Jones into a vat of snakes.
Hey,
like, you need to express to everybody, hey, he's crazy, he doesn't like snakes. I know it's weird because he has, like, a lasso with him all the time, so you think he'd be, like, pretty tight with these long, wrinkly boys, but...
Hey, AJ, you know what happens when you disagree with an evil overlord or challenge them on their ideas?
You also get pushed into the giant vat of snakes.
Yeah, you get fucking killed. Like, you don't... There's no reasoning with an evil overlord. That is why that's why they have the title Evil Overlord. So that's how the game ends. It's just... You just go up and just try and convince them not to kill you when you challenge them?
Maybe the trick is giving them the space where they can break one of the rules.
Oh, okay. What does that mean?
So, like, maybe at the beginning it says, like, oh, okay, these are, like, you start a mission and it's like, these are the rules that your boss is going to break.
Mm-hmm. Is it like
rule number
is it like an Ace
41
Attorney style thing where you have to memorize these rules and then go through to, like, try and get your evil overlord out of, like, being arrested by the Union of Evil or something? So is it like you have to study these rules and figure out loopholes to where your evil boss can get away with it without getting arrested?
Or at least create a burner, right? Like, one of these rules was like, I'm not going to leave any of my personal information and, like, secret plans on my personal laptop. Like, yeah, that's a good call. Like, no evil overlord should leave all of his login information on his personal laptop. So, but he is. You know what I mean? Like, our boss, our evil overlord, what's his name going to be? What's her name going to be?
How about
Groot?
I was thinking Gru, because this
okay. Fuck. Yes. Okay, so this is a Minions game, and you're playing as one of the Minions, and, like, here's the thing about Gru, like, he's an absolute super genius, and, like, of course he wouldn't mess up any of these rules.
He's a doof.
But he's got 3 daughters now. You know what I mean? Like, he's so busy. And, like, Gru would love to not leave all of his login information on his laptop. But now he has to remember all of his daughters' Club Penguin accounts. He has to remember their Neopets accounts. He has to make sure that they're able to get in and on and off of TikTok. And he's always moderating
Gotta manage their Amazon Prime subscriptions. Make sure they don't over-order on things.
Yeah, he's got the oldest teen, like, nice, like, YouTube premium account. So, like, obviously, like, he has so much he has to memorize. He's not going to be able to remember to keep his own login and banking information off of his laptop. You, as the Minions, need to find out what you need to do to make sure that his shit is safe, even though, like, it's on his laptop.
AJ,
do you want create a secondary burner, like a burner laptop for him that, like, says all over it, like, Gru's personal laptop? It's not really, though. That's the evil scheme. It's a bomb.
You know what I'm picturing here? Like, if I wish I could draw, because I would want to do fan art of it, but I'm just picturing, you know, like the standard, like, Phoenix Wright pose where he's screaming objection, but it's like a hyper realistic minion with Phoenix Wright's hair. Just so, okay. So, is it basically you're just trying to find loopholes where Gru doesn't get, like, arrested? But he's a good guy now, isn't he, in the movies? Yeah,
but this is like the evil... Yes, but that's boring, and now he's a bad guy again.
Okay. This is happening during the 3rd movie when he's doing, like, shenanigans with his brother or some shit.
Yeah, he has an evil... He has a new secret evil alias. Gru 2.
Gru 2, Electric Grugaloo.
his supervillain name where he's under an alias is Electric Grugaloo. And so Electric Grugaloo is maybe, let's look at these other rules. I think that, like, you start a mission and you know that he's going to break some rules, and you need to figure out how you can make that rule break safe for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rule
so what does
16.
the gameplay look like, though? Is it
Hitman? But like a minion, I guess. Like it's a third-person puzzler. Like a third-person sandbox game.
Bro.
No, like a sandbox. Like you know how like Hitman, like it's essentially a puzzler, right? Like, oh, kill this person on the racetrack, and then you got to figure out, okay, how am I going to do that? Am I going to poison his Powerade? Am I going to throw a mine on the racetrack?
How about this, CJ? How about this? So each level, you're playing those group of 4 minions that always go out and do the adventures and shit. You have to go to...
Hold on, joke pending. I need to drop the names of those minions as soon as you say that sentence.
Okay, so you follow those 4 minions. It's like Joe and something else. I don't know.
Bob, Kevin, and Stuart. Okay. There's only 3 of those minions, Blake.
Wow, I was very off. Joe is the 4th one that they don't talk about.
So you play as Bob, Kevin, Stuart, and Joe.
So you are Groot's team of lawyers, of minion, just not coordinated lawyers. Are you defending Gru, or are you going to other villain bases and seeing how they are not obeying these 100 rules and laws? So, like, there's the sandbox element, is where you have to sneak through their base and find, like, oh, they're not following rule number 16 here, where there's, like, personal information on this laptop. Now you can get them shut down to where they stop bothering Gru.
Oh my God! Yes, the minions have unionized. Okay. So the minions like unionized, and they're working for like every supervillain out there right now.
God. They're all different colors, basically. Like Gru has the yellow ones. The other one they have because that one guy had the purple ones, which were just morphed. Like
yeah, but like there's some like green minions, and there's some like
it's the Green Lantern Corps, but it's
orange minions.
It's the Lantern Corps, but for minions.
Yes, but they've unionized, and so you as the minion, Bob, Kevin, Stuart, and Joe, you are all going in doing inspections on every supervillain, and you need to find what rules he's breaking so that you can like report him to the Council of Minions, and then like you can get him shut down or you can get them fined. You're just trying to improve the working conditions for the minions because no minion wants to see their evil overlords fail, right?
But this is a villain base, and if you are caught, you are taken out, and you fail the level.
Well, if Kevin Stewart or Joe get caught,
yeah, if they
or
know,
Bob.
if like the villain knows that they're under review and they know they are breaking rules, me as an evil overlord, I'd be like, yeah, let's kill them. They're not supposed to be here.
I'm sure there's not a rule in the evil overlord thing about do not let your employees unionize. But if there is, we're going to go ahead and redact that rule. I don't have the time to read all 100 rules.
There's 99 rules, but unionizing ain't one. All right. Do you have a game submission for? Actually, wait. You just gave me a game submission.
I gave this submission. I gave Electric Grugaloo.
All right. This one is a very special one coming to us on Twitter from Wesley at B10_Baloo. No good ideas, but have a good time and have fun. This is very kind, and I very much appreciate this supportive thing. But we take this very literally. Every submission is a game. So AJ, I don't know if I did some research. I broke this down very scientifically. So he said, okay. So they say, no good ideas, but have a good time and have fun. Did you know there's a band called
Bro, that's
Fun?
Minecraft.
No. Did you know that did you know there's a band called Fun? They do like Carry On, We Are Young, like every high school's like anthem. We are young. That band?
Oh, yeah.
That's fun.
That's the but tonight.
Yes. And also they said good time. You know what famous song or band has the phrase good time in it? Don't Stop Me Now by Queen. So we're going to make a game where it's it's going to be an MMO like World of Warcraft where you can either fight for fun or you can fight for a good time. But the leaders of each faction are just songs based off of fun. And songs
are you
based
implying
off
that
of Queen.
Fun and good times are mutually exclusive? Like they're different?
Yes, they are different. It's like evil and good. You can't have a good time and have fun, and you can't have fun and have a good time at the same time. It doesn't work in this world, AJ.
Unless you're the Daywalker.
That's the third faction. You're like I like Queen and I like the band Fun. So I guess I'm just going to be a combination of both. So you're going to have the sweet, crazy, weird sex mess that was Queen in the late 70s and throughout the 80s.
Oh, when Freddie was all fucking coked out? I'm sorry, I cussed.
I don't think he did coke.
Was Freddie Mercury not all coked out?
I know he did drugs, but I don't think he did. I don't know, actually, honestly. I was just going off of the fun part where he's like in cool spandex things and the cool like marching jacket, like that sort of fashion and power is versing fun, which is kind of like I did way more research into this than I should have. But did you know all the band music videos for Fun? They're all throughout different time periods. So I hypothesize that the band Fun is actually a group of time travelers going through World War I, World War II, the Industrial Revolution, and modern day. So you have time travelers versus sorcerers, which is obviously what Freddie Mercury is, right?
Yeah, that's pretty apparent based on everything about him.
AJ, real question: did I put too much effort into this?
Maybe. Well, here's my concern: is I think that you've. Oh, I just realized that I've been spiking on my audio for a little while now, and I'm so sorry about that.
All's good. Just add a little clipping thing on it.
Add a little bit of post production. Just a little bit of fixing that. So here's my issue.
Yes.
You've done a lot of research and brainstorming about like these two factions and what they mean.
Did some world building on this, right? Yeah.
I still don't understand why the hell people that are believing in fun are facing off against people that believe in having a good time. Like what caused the split? What caused the Great Schism?
They're both arguing over what is better. Is having a good time better than having fun? But
where's the difference?
That's the thing. They're fighting for no good reason. They're fighting over pride. They're like, well, our time is better than your time. Because like that's what's happening in World of Warcraft, right? They're both like good, but like both are just like fighting for the same thing.
I don't think so. I think one's like way wicked worse than the other one.
Okay, but humor me. So like this is a game about two people who have fun, but in their own ways thinking it's better.
No, only one has fun. The other one has a good time. You've made that expressly clear, even if I don't know what the fuck it means.
Okay, here, let me come at it this way. Both are happy. Okay. Both are like happy. Oh wait, hold on a second. My cat is desperately trying to get out. Go, Gibbs. Be free. Be free. All right, Gibbs is free. All right, so I'm thinking they're both fighting. It's like I feel like this has been used in like a bunch of like young adult fictions. Like they're fighting for their version of the same thing. So they're both fighting over what it means to be happy, what it means to just do something that brings you joy, and that's causing them to fight. So I'm not saying there's bloodshed over it. It doesn't have to be super violent, but it could be Fun, the band Fun's version of happiness versus Queen's versions of happiness. And, you know, like maybe one does it through time travel and the other one does it through cool sorcerer magic.
What do you think is fun for a time traveler? Because, like, they know how everything's going to happen.
If Bill and Ted taught me anything, it's about going and having conversations with people you don't know. So, like, I would love to just go talk with Socrates and just hang out and eat grapes and just not understand because we obviously speak different languages.
Okay, but what would a wizard have to gain to get in the way of a time traveler?
Maybe they're jealous. They get to. That's the one magic they don't have control over. It's like we could have a better time.
Well, there it is. Boom. Kabushki, we've created a villain. You know what I mean? Like now the wizards, like now the queen people aren't there to have a good time. They're there to stop something else. Unless like they gain a good time from stopping other people from having fun, in which case we've created a villain.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? Like you can't have two
They have a good time from stopping other people's good times?
Yeah, and that's shady. I only have fun when you're not having fun. Shut up, wizard. God, I hate sorcerers.
All right, I'm.
That's why I hated Doctor Strange so much. Really? He just was trying to keep Thanos from having a good time.
Well, I mean, really? I mean, like,
yeah, him and every other sorcerer. That's how they all are.
I'm kind of on the sorcerer's like side here.
That's just because you'd be the one of us that got erased.
See, there's our game, uniquely identifiable. You have your side, I have my side, and we do dance-offs and other magical fights. Bam, ship it, sell it. Thank you, Wesley. I don't think you were expecting a game this week, but I appreciate your submission.
There was a really kick-ass submission here a little bit ago.
Gimme.
Okay, this from
Hey, AJ.
What?
I can't understand you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it again though. This comes from Connor Rain on Twitter @Connor Rain, an over-the-top, sickly produced RPG based on chess. Your stats are only used in your interactions with other characters outside of the core gameplay loop, which is just chess, with its UI wholesale lifted from chess.com.
So, okay, how I'm picturing this, because I did read this like earlier this week. You ever heard of the Switch game called Golf Story, where it's like kind of a RPG, but then it just has golf in the center of it?
I know that team's working on another game called Sports Story, which uses like baseball, which is a much more interesting game to me, so I'm very interested in that.
Golf games are fun. Like, actually, weirdly enough, I got super into golf over this past year. Not because golf is fun, just the idea of like walking and did you know you can have a beer on all golf courses?
I was about to say, I think I've heard you talk to me about this, and I don't know if it was the golf that it made you enjoy it. It was just walking with a beer in your hand
in
all
public,
day, which was really what did it for you. Like,
well,
you
just
like golf because you
with
can't
people.
go to Vegas.
That's fair. You're right. Golf is the poor man's Vegas. Okay, but no, Golf Story was this really cute little game where you are this person new in town and they're pursuing a golfing career. So like you can just pursue the golf. You can actually turn off all of the RPG like interaction stuff and just play it as a golfing game. Or between courses and between major parts of your career, you go off, meet people, build relationships, buy, sell things. It's like it's very calm. It's a very like in a weird way kind of Animal Crossing, where it's just like you have this little activity you can do and then go interact with people.
And then when you go into like, I kind of get it. And then like, it's just like a chill RPG.
So we are going to make a thing where, oh my God, AJ,
Same but different. Like I want you, here's what I kind of want to like pitch to you.
Okay.
Chess is the king's game.
Uh-huh.
I want this like high fantasy world.
Oh, fuck yes.
I want this to be so obscenely over the top, but like the submission suggests, like when you go into combat, like it plays like an RPG, right? Like you run around, you're meeting friends, you're growing your stats so that you can like build connections, right? Like if you want to negotiate how to make a cheaper library, you need to increase your negotiation skills.
Yes. Okay, a couple set piece
but
ideas.
Every time you go into combat, instead of like breaking into a turn-based RPG or an action game, when like you are toe-to-toe with Snorflax, the king of ogres,
sweet,
you're playing him in chess. Now, I'm a little bit concerned about whether or not it is the characters actually sitting down and playing chess, or if it is like this like over-the-top chess game, but like it just has like a bunch of fancy little assets.
Okay, a couple things. One, I want to discuss some set pieces for you just to kind of build out the world a little bit, and then we could talk about gameplay. Two things. One, I would like there was like that whole thing like back in the 70s where they were like, who's gonna win, man or machine? It was like dudes fighting against like computer robots.
Oh yeah,
chess robots. So
yes.
one of the kings should be a warforged who was built just to be the king of chess.
Yes.
So that's one of our set pieces, and I think I forgot. Oh wait, another one. Like how in Game of Thrones they have trial by combat to decide like things?
Yes.
It's trial by combat, but it's chess. So like we're gonna have some super dramatic scenes where you have to fight for your life, but in chess. Like maybe that's how the game opens, is like you were wronged or something by one of the kings, and you have to do trial by combat. And you're just like your story is trying to find your way back to defeat that king, but you can't challenge a king unless you yourself are a king.
Here's my pitch. This is just like an RPG that I want. I want a game where you actually become king. Like you start off like grassroots, like I'm going to conquer this kingdom and I'm going to become a king by showing off how cool and tactical and brilliant I am.
You have a chessboard made of rocks, like it's just dirt poor. Like you can build up your chessboard too.
But I think all confrontations and all battles are handled with chess. Like, this is a world where violence does not exist.
Well, this is just
Only
no
chess.
game. This is just no game, no life. Then. Like,
okay, I haven't seen that anime.
Well, it's interesting. It's a world where every major decision is decided through gameplay. So if you want to, like, if somebody challenges you for your crown instead of a war going on, it's just play a game, and whoever wins that game is the one that gets the crown. So, like, you can take a little thing from that, but they don't just play chess; they play like a bunch of other things. So I think would be cooler if it just stays involved with chess.
Okay, here's the other alternative.
Mm-hmm.
It's a normal RPG, but every time you get into a battle confrontation, the camera zooms up and over all of your teammates.
Yes, and then it becomes
whatever
real
class
RTS.
your teammate is, that's what piece they are, right? Like, your character, the main character, is the king piece, and like maybe way late into the game, your character can like change their piece. But for the majority of the game, they are the king. They can maybe move one left, one right, and maybe we can talk about them being able to increase their characters like spaces one.
No, really,
then we've changed chess, and that's no fun.
So how about, okay, I'm all in the mood. So in the mood to change chess up a little bit. So here's two things that decide it. One, there's a gear system. So depending on what your pieces or your team is carrying dictates how far they can move. So like maybe their gear dictates what kind of piece they are. So that from there you can actually choose, like, okay, I want to have a board, if I remember correctly, it's like 16 pieces. All 16 of my pieces are rooks. And like maybe you fight a king, that's how they fight. It's like all of their army is just rooks. So like that's where the variance comes in.
Yes.
So
okay,
like
that's kick-ass, actually.
So like, and that I love your top-down method, because then you see them move along a grid just like it's chess, but there's like every time there's a kill, it just breaks into a cool fucking finisher, like Mortal Kombat style. Like it just really quickly whips in, shows the cool finisher, and like I love that. I love that.
So there's a gear system to change their chess piece.
Yes.
But that's it. That's as far as the RPG goes. I don't want to see like health bars. I don't want to see like stats.
Oh, it's one hit, one kill. That's how that's chess. I think.
That's chess.
Do you want to do a thing where, like, add a little bit more strategy into it? Do you think you can pick your starting place? Because, like, you know how in chess it's everybody starts on the back two rows. What if you wanted to do a thing where, like, you actually can choose what pieces go, and like kind of what formation they're in, like they're an army?
I think that you can do that later in the game, but I definitely think that like at the beginning you just get like normal chess, and like the pieces that you have at the beginning of the game are like the main character and the main character's best friend. So you have like the king piece and a pawn.
Mm-hmm. And when you defeat like a king, like I feel like each thing should be like a Mario world. I think that's the best way of looking at it, because you have to do a bunch of little fights that lead to the big boss fight at the end of this land, right?
Yes.
So it's like I think if most Mario things, it's like six
worlds.
6 tiles. Well, it's 8 worlds, but like 6 tiles in each world, and then the 7th one is the boss. So like the first land we're going to is you start out like in the grasslands, and you got to go fight the Lion King. So it's like just some big, giant, pompous lion who's controlling all the peasants in the area, and like
he has a really big brain.
That's how he became.
That's why he's the Lion King. It's because he has such a big head. It looks like a big lion, man.
Mm-hmm. I'm picturing. Do you remember that one? It's a fighting game that just got a dating thing. It's where like you're playing a bunch of different like animals. But then it was a fighting game, like something like
Rivals of Ether or something.
Yeah, Rivals of Ether. I'm picturing the lion guy from that.
Yeah, like that.
Like a jock looking like lion, but like super smart.
Yes, like this looks like a JRPG. Like it looks and acts like a JRPG. Like there's this whole like semi-dating element. You have to like manage your stats so that you can do better discussions. You have to like,
if we want to do, hold on. So do relationships dictate effectiveness in battle? Like maybe they get a +1 move. So like depending on who you talk to.
No, but I think that relationships dictate the way that the story goes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Like I don't want to change up chess too much, right? Like you can't increase the stats of chess pieces.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think that you can just change what the pieces are and where they're going to start at.
Okay, and then we get
with
sweet
the exception of like
finishers.
the king battles. The king battles where like you've actually made it to being a king and you can start competing with the other kings.
Mm-hmm.
Those ones just play out like a normal chess match.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think our story here then is I feel the final king has to be the Warforged, like computer, like the undefeated computer.
The undefeated computer king.
Yes.
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 So like our game opens up with just like a traditional thing of chess. Like he trial by combat has to fight for their life in this, and then after defeating them, how cool would it be that the king, the first world, like is like I respect your combat. I challenge you. Journey across my land and come challenge me in my castle. And that's like how he's gonna like claim kingship to fight the computer guy.
Oh yeah, like the first king is like if you can compete your way all the way to me, if you can prove your worth, I will dub you as my son, and when I pass you will be king.
So like, oh okay, I was thinking maybe he's already dying, like he's looking for an heir.
Yes, but
So,
he
like,
needs to find an heir that's worth it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't pass it. Like, the actual king's lineage is trash. But if the main character is able to fight their way to the king again after the king met them on, just a little tour, ran into a little spat, played against them, saw something in them.
Yeah, I think they were watching his trial by combat. Like, because I think a game starting with like a cool, just like the opening scene is the first fight of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that way you get a tutorial for chess.
Yes. And then from there, like, the king sends you a letter.
Oh, you know what? Actually, hold on. This is what the actual thing... The very first cutscene and, like, interaction in the game would be you playing normal chess, like, with chess assets.
Yes.
And then once you win that game of chess, the camera would zoom out to reveal the main character. And, like, they're talking to, like, their grandpa or something. And then that character's like, all right, time to go do my battle. And then you go to do, like, the first story one, that trial by combat moment.
Ooh, sweet. And then each world will present its own little story of to why this king is challenging you.
Yes.
Or like, and then once you conquer these 7 other worlds, or you become king of these 7 other realms, then you suddenly have the right to challenge the king who maybe wronged you in the first place.
Yes. That's cool.
That's a game. Fuck yeah, dude. Holy shit, I didn't expect us to make a cool game out of chess.
Your turn.
Oh, God, which one do I want to do? All right, this one comes to us on Twitter from Philip K. at Zaldine, or Zalden. Shit. A tower defense game where you're a dragon broodmother trying to protect her eggs against attacks by knights and adventurers. I want to do a thing. It's my favorite tower defense game of all time, and you and I have actually played a little bit of it. Small Soldiers. Small Soldiers 1 and Small Soldiers 2. For those that don't know, you are basically playing toys on a makeshift battlefield, just doing tower defense things. The first one was like World War I themed, and then the second one was like 1980s like toy revolution themed. So you can like play as G.I. Joes and other things. So I want to do the one thing that thing did that was really, really cool is once you built up a certain meter, you can play as the hero. So you can play as Joe from the G.I. Joes, or you can play as Lieutenant Cobra or whatever. So it's a tower defense game about dragons, but you're working on a meter to where you can then just play the fucking dragon and then
That's
just
very
tear
cool.
shit up. So like, I don't think Toy Soldiers had a flying element to their bosses.
No, I like this idea a lot. Here's my problem with it.
Uh-huh.
I like it.
You like
Hit
it?
me with something nasty about it. You know what I mean? Like that's just a kick-ass game.
AJ, this is a Chast episode. We got to make some decent games.
No, we can make them bad and not make them horny.
I mean, shit, I don't know. I was in the mood to make a cool game.
We made a cool game last week.
What would you do? We did not make a cool game last week. We made a cuck game last week. Okay.
All right.
How would you batify this?
So it's a tower defense game where if you build enough like treasure and points, you get to play as the dragon.
Mm-hmm. Well, how about this? I have a way that's kind of fucked up that we can make this game a little bit unsettling.
All right.
So playing the dragon is the coolest part of the game. It is hands down a way to one-shot like massive tanks and other crazy things. But you can only go into that mode if one of your eggs is broken. So it's a strategy of like allowing some of your eggs to get broken to where you can defeat larger enemies.
Ooh, that's cool.
So it's kind of sacrificing your young to achieve greater power. Is that fucked up enough for you, dude?
It is. Thank you. Here's what I would... Oh, I got it. I know how we can make this one nasty.
Uh-huh.
So the thing about dragons is that you're like always like accumulating wealth, right? Like, got to get that money.
Or just anything that they covet. Some covet swords.
Yeah, but this dragon's going to covet money. And
okay.
I believe that when you log into this game, you have to link your bank account.
Oh, shit.
And I think that anytime you lose...
You lose money from
You lose some money from your actual bank account.
Okay, so that's implying that this is a versus game. Because some people... You can link your bank account, and you can be the person sending the troops towards a dragon's mountain. But if you are what's the winning for the dragon? So is it just
other people's money?
Okay, so like, is there just each person makes an investment? Oh, it'd be cool. All the money you have to spend your own real money to build your army that you go to attack other places. If you fail, that dragon gets all the money you invested in your army.
I don't think that anybody makes money. I think it's just them spending money to steal it from other people. Right? Because like if a dragon kills a bunch of people, it's not like they get money out of it.
Well, no. Here's the I think that's how it should work, because there should be, if you're gonna spend some money and defend your own shit, you got to have money.
All right. Here's the catch, though.
Mm-hmm.
We as the game company take 10% off the top.
Oh yeah. There's also a subscription fee of $1.99 a month. So like, bruh. Actually, you know what? Honestly, we're gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. Not the benefit of the doubt. We're going to give them a little taste. They're going to have a 3-day trial, and on the end of the 3-day trial, it's $1.99 a month, but we don't let them know. I know this may sound like a joke, AJ, but this is something apps do. Did you know this?
What, they make it free? Or how would they charge you after like a month?
Because
without you putting in your information.
Because it's all linked to your Google Play or to your Apple account.
Oh,
when you install an app, it's already linked to your payment. So when you download this like dictionary app that's like, hey, the first 3 days are free, and then now it's a subscription service, they just do it. And then
were you hurt by this?
No, but I've been seeing a lot of shit on Reddit lately about that.
Weird.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that fucking stupid? But I can't wait to implement it in our Bad Dragon
I also cannot
game.
wait to implement it into our gamification.
It makes so much money.
All right, Blake, we need to take stock.
Okay.
We need to decide on our nug.
We're only 46 minutes in, brother.
Yeah, but we got to pick which one our nug is so that we can really nail it out. Figure out what's nasty about it.
How about you give me a lightning round, I'll give you a lightning round, and then we can go into our nug.
All right. Let's do some lightning rounds.
All right.
This comes from Gazer on Twitter, @JustGazer. Beef Johnson, you're the new big, strong, buff guy, gritty white male protagonist in the new AAA video game. The only problem? You're a pacifist in a Doom Call of Duty style game. Can you beat the levels in this shooting game without firing a single bullet?
So is it
How's
just
it going? It's me, Beef Johnson.
Beef Johnson.
And I got drafted into the military. And this sucks.
So
I'm not prepared to take a life.
So basically it's just Mirror's Edge, but you're trying to get past all the gun guys.
It's I can't do flips like that. I can't. I'm buff.
Oh,
like you know that Wolfenstein guy? You know that guy John Wolfenstein?
You mean Terror Billy, and you say his fucking name right?
No, not Terror Billy. What's his name? Blowjob Blazkowicz?
No, it's BJ Blazkowicz. I would thank you to remember, and I will clip my microphone for this.
So I just realized that me and Blowjob have the same initials, so that's kind of awkward. So I can't call him BJ because I'm BJ.
AJ, this is the Chast episode. We talked about this.
I'm Chast. I'm just making fun of his name.
But you're saying blowjob's a no word. Stop it.
I'm sorry. I won't say that anymore. Anyway, so BJ over there, you know how he can hold 2 guns?
Yeah, I can hold 2 guns. What's up?
Oh, Beef Johnson too.
I'm not Beef Johnson. I'm not. He's more violent than I am.
I would never hurt anybody.
I would hurt people less than you.
All right, so wait, name your character right now, because now we have Beef Johnson with a rival character, so we can have the incredibly important homoerotic tension.
But does it have to begin with BJ?
Yes, it does have to be BJ initials.
Okay, so it's Beef Johnson. So it means I need to be some sort of Oh, I got one. Beefy Johnny.
Come on, they can't have the first name. That's
why
weird.
not? They're the same. Oh yeah, that would be weird if they were like, you know, getting jiggy and then saying their names. Yeah, that would be weird. I don't know.
Bagel Jamiroquai.
What?
Bagel Jamiroquai. Jamiroquai is like a musician, right?
Uh-huh.
Anyway, and his first name would be Bagel.
Actually, I have one for you. Bang Jiggy.
All right, so Bang Jiggy and Beef Johnson. And so it's me, Beef Johnson, and I'm just as buff as BJ Blazkowicz, and I can also carry 2 guns. Not that I would ever want to, because I could hurt somebody with those.
I'm so buff I don't need to brag about it to people to reaffirm my emotions.
I'm not bragging. It's an audio medium, and this is the only way I can express
I gotta describe
how big
them.
I am.
I gotta give them a visual description.
So,
all right, love them, ship it. So it's basically them trying to outcoward each other across the battlefield.
I think it's a stealth. I think it's like a first-person stealth game, except you can't like
your
it's
muscles
not like
are too
Mirror's
big
Edge.
to like just stealth. It's like
Yeah.
it's just the Solid Snake thing. My ass claps too loud to sneak past these guards. Help!
Yeah, it's like a Metal Gear, except if Snake refused to do violence.
I have it. So it's these 2 muscle-bound pacifists that just don't want to be violent, but they also don't want to like brag. Like they can't stealth unless they learn the power of helping one another. So like it's a strictly co-op game where you're playing these 2 people and you have to help each other sneak across. It's like a Way Out basically, but like more muscle, more fuck energy, you know what I mean?
And more expectation for them to do violence. Like I want everybody barking orders at them to like people are like, all right, BJ and BJ, and also BJ. I'm glad to see that we're here in Wolfenstein 3.
They have they have like their little companion character, like this little kid who's just named BJ.
Yeah, Beef
2
Johnson
dads and their son.
It's Beef Johnson, Bagel. What did you say?
Bang Jiggy.
Bang Jiggy and their son, Bagel Jamiroquai.
Bagel. That's such a good name.
And the 3 of them are all pacifists, and Beef and Bang are just trying to make sure that their son grows up also being like
a buff pacifist,
a non-violent vegan, super pacifist, like
superhuman buff boy.
Yeah. Next submission.
Okay, I got it for you. All right, this is gonna take us back to actually I never played this game, so I have no idea what time period it is. So this one comes from on Twitter from Connor Rain at Connor Rain. Pogs, the video game. I don't know if you've ever played Pogs, but it's like a little disc thing that you throw at other people's stacks, and whatever you knock off, you get to keep.
What?
You've never played? You've never played Pogs?
No. You play for keeps in Pogs?
That's how I only know this because I watched a short film on it from God, what's that one guy? He did the short film. Oh, where's your girlfriend? She's in the hole. The hole knows all. Tomska did like an action short based off of Pogs, and that's where I get all of my Pog knowledge.
Okay, I was concerned that maybe you learned about this like playing for keeps Pogs ruling because one of your siblings told you that was how Pogs was played, and that's not how Pogs is played. And you just got fucking played like a chump.
No, luckily my brothers cheated me out in other ways, like on like I never got my turn on the Xbox. Okay. Okay.
So
I basically it's I want to play Pog. I like the keeps element of Pogs, but I want there to be more tension in it. Like, the Pogs should represent some real value.
Hell yeah, they should. We should have this in casinos.
Some casino. Oh, so like we just fuck the roulette table and we just throw chips at one another?
Yeah, we're going to go play Pogs.
Oh, holy shit, that's rad. Actually, it'd be really cool, too, to add a little bit of, because, like, we can add some television element to this, right? So what if you have a table that's on your head that has your stack of chips, and you have to take the chips from your top without knocking them all down, and then throw one at the opposing person's chips. So it's like a balancing act. And then, like, think of, like, the TV elements of that. Because did you know Tag actually just got its own TV series?
Cable TV's really desperate, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, they have, like, an obstacle course tag show. It actually looks really fun. I would love to do it. But we do something
We already
like that.
tried that. There's been 2 iterations of American Gladiator. This shit doesn't work. Stop trying to put people on tag on TV.
I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess obstacle courses just stopped being fun and what?
American Gladiator
Since
said we're going to
MXC
do
was a
rope
thing?
swing tag where these people swing at each other as fast as they possibly can and playing tag, and hopefully somebody doesn't get hurt, and if they do fall, they fall into a giant vat of water. And people still didn't want to
AJ,
watch it.
I want that stupidity, but with Pogs, where you're just throwing discs at one another. So you're doing, you got your stack of Pogs on your head, right? And you have to take from it, that's your ammo supply, while you're just doing these crazy gymnastic events trying to hit another person's Pogs. And if they slip and fall and land in the water, they lose all their Pogs. Not
We've
just the
created
ones
a game
that fall.
show now.
There we go. We created a game show. It's not a video game, but it is a game show. What's our game, brother?
Here, okay, let's run down the list.
Okay.
Notable nugs.
Mm-hmm.
Minions, Unionized, Electric Woogaloo.
Uh-huh.
King's Game.
Mm-hmm.
I want to lean towards Minions Unionized because I feel like that's a bit of a game that should not be made.
Yeah, that's true.
And
like,
I would I would
of,
actually be very interested in an RPG that flipped its combat into chess.
I think we should go with the Minions one primarily because it's just weird, and I'm mainly motivated to put a minion in Phoenix Wright hair for the art.
Okay, so I want to try to understand what this gameplay is. Is it a visual novel where you're trying to gain evidence and then use that evidence as in like a court of law?
I think it should break into 2 things. So it's visual novel-esque like Phoenix Wright, where you have to like go have conversations, maybe do some things where you have to where you're shown a room where you have to find something. But the other thing is you actually get sent out on missions to go and collect, quote, evidence from opposing villain places.
Well, wouldn't that be the visual novel element when you are going out and
I think it would be fun to do like
how
an
is there
explorer.
2 different exploration styles?
Well, I think you can still do the visual novel thing. Like, here's the thing. With Phoenix Wright is you have your inventory of evidence, and that unlocks different character conversations that lead to the final case.
Yes.
So you do a thing where the visual novel element is after you go and do the search at the villain place. So you have to go successfully do a mission where you sneak and collect all the evidence you can, or all the evidence that is available without getting caught. So it's like a 3D Metal Gear Solid kind of thing. Then you come back, and then now the visual novel interesting part is you have to find out what all of this evidence means. Who is the person to talk to with this piece of evidence? Who do you need to bring this thing up to reveal another piece of evidence?
Okay.
So it's like you...
Okay, I see what you mean. So
Yes.
there's a exploration phase where you're going into the level, sneaking around, stealthing around, trying to find as much evidence as you can.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the investigation, or what's it called when you're like
I think
interviewing people in an investigation.
Interrogation.
An interrogation sequence where you're interrogating the other minions. Maybe you bring in their overlord's assistant, and their overlord's adopted children, because every villain does.
Some evidence actually requires you to go back and sneak into the villainous base again, but they've upped security. So like they know like the things that you did, the route that you took last time to sneak in is now no longer accessible. So like you can't use the same route every time that you go in and sneak into a place. It adapts to what decisions you made.
Yes.
So like if you hacked into a certain door, guess what? Can't hack into that door the next time you need to go get in there. So make sure once you are in there, get all of the evidence you possibly can because you don't want to come back. But sometimes you will be forced to come back.
And if you do come back, make sure you bring different gear from Gru's special laboratory, right?
Oh,
like then, maybe the first time you go in, you bring the freeze ray and the fart gun. Mm-hmm. But then you're like, all right, that I used those both really effectively. I can't think of a funny way to implement the fart gun at the moment, but know it was very funny.
Think of it as the sleeper dart. Like that's how you do it. And you can actually steal other people's experiments that you can't use in the level, but you bring it back to the professor and he'll build it into a newer gadget for you on later missions.
But by taking that gadget back, you've lost one slot that you could have used to hold evidence.
Yeah, we could do something. So it's like you kind of have to choose. Interesting.
You have to choose. Like I could go get the experiment that is being worked on by. I don't have a villain name.
That's what we'll figure out with our Discord.
The
The boss fights will be the places that they're sneaking into.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's go to the Discord.
All right. For those that don't know, on our Patreon, we have a Discord page where you can submit us boss fight ideas, and we integrate those into every episode every week. So, AJ, you have a boss fight? Oh, I have it. I have the first one.
Okay.
All right. The first.
What do you got?
The first villain. God, thank you, Zendrika, and thank you, Gazer. It's just a picture of a crab with a cowboy hat, which is super villain material if I've ever fucking seen one. And his name, according to Gazer, is Yee Claw. So
one of the villains in the Despicable Me verse is a giant crab with a cowboy hat.
Yes, and they live in an underwater base because they've proven that the British base is or like the British counterintelligence or something base is underwater. So why can't this supervillain's base be underwater?
Would you like to know what rules the crab is breaking?
What? Oh, you're gonna.
The crab is breaking or plans on breaking rule number 34, which is, of course, the rule I will not turn into a snake. It never helps.
So it's a crab.
Giant crab with a cowboy hat thinks that being a giant snake with a cowboy hat would be a better idea.
Ooh.
So the minions are concerned about that.
A slippery boy. Hell yeah. And you know what's cool? You can actually steal that technology, and that'll allow you to turn into a snake for later levels.
Also, another big rule that the snake is breaking, rule number 29, which is I will dress in bright and cheery colors and throw my enemies into confusion. Giant crab with a cowboy hat? That just screams bad guy. You know what I mean? Like, that's a bandito if I've ever seen one.
That's fucking sweet. Bandito crab. Oh, man. I love him. That's so... that's so fucking cool.
I got another villain here from
sweet.
Philip K. Green Goblin.
Green Goblin?
Yeah, the Green Goblin, from Spider-Man, the Green Goblin.
Are you talking about the clown that is in green that was also submitted by Zendrika? Or are you talking about Spider-Man Green Goblin?
I'm talking about Spider-Man's Green Goblin.
Why? What? Okay, so we got to sneak into his area. He has like a ship. Like his base of operations is like a floating ship, right?
Yeah, like
and it's a Halloween themed level.
It's all Halloween-y, it's all high tech, and there's a lot of flying little goblin orbs that are
that's
surveying.
Cool as hell.
Here's some rules that Green Goblin is breaking.
What? Give me some rules, buddy.
I will never utter the sentence, but before I kill you, there's just one thing I want you to know.
God, Green Goblin does that
Green
all
Goblin
the time.
Loves to brag. He always trying to give some last rites and shit.
He's very monologue-y. Yes.
And so that one's admittedly kind of we're prepping a case against him in assumption that he's going to do that based on past evidences of plans going awry because he failed to do that. So that one's a little bit of a preventative cause case that we're building up against Green Goblin.
Okay. Oh no, my cat is trying to get into my room right now. Uh-oh. All right, Gibbs, wait a second. I got to talk about this other cat that Connor Rain submitted. Connor Rain submitted a cat in a magical golden crown and robe. So this is like, it's a cat that has human intelligence. Because like I know that's always big in super villain things. Like, okay, so I have to describe the image, but he has a very large like crown that shoots up like Mojo Jojo. You know what Mojo Jojo had in Powerpuff Girls? He had a huge fucking brain.
Yeah.
So if you were to take off this cat's crown, it would just reveal a giant human brain.
Would you like to know what rules that cat is breaking?
What is his name? I was thinking we call him Mr. Perfect.
Mr. Perfect is really good.
Sounds like something a poshy asshole would call himself.
Mr. Perfect is breaking rule number 53 of the evil overlord list. If the beautiful princess that I capture says, I will never, ever marry you, never, do you hear me, never, I will say, oh, well, and kill her. This cat's not taking a hint. This cat's like, oh, once I turn you into a cat, you will be in love with me. And like elongating the process. And it's just like, come on, dude. First of all, this is creepy.
Dude,
and we all know that being creepy isn't a good, being creepy does not a good super evil lord make.
Dude, fuck yeah. I'm down for incel cats as boss fights.
So like, we're definitely building a case against him. One, for not like just like, letting this go because it's a mission that's not going to work, and two, just being a creep, which is, I don't know if that's on the list already, but that's going to be rule number 101 under the Minion rules.
You know, it'd be really cool too. Like, you can actually save that person, because like the whole thing about Despicable Me is like balancing villainy versus good. So like the minions, it would cost you all of your slots. Like, you can't take any evidence with you, and it will make security the next time you come like 10 times harder, but you can save this person. And maybe they'll testify for you when you go into the final like Ace Attorney battle.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Those are our boss fights. That's a game, bro. What are we going to call it?
Might I suggest Unions, but it's spelt with the Minions font.
Unions. I guess. I mean,
I could also suggest Despicable Me Unionize now. Do we want to fit the Minions branding or the Despicable Me branding?
I don't think the Union. I don't necessarily. I think the Minion. This is definitely Minions. This isn't really.
Okay, this is a
it
Minions
is kind of
game.
Despicable Me sort of thing, but I don't really think we talked much about the Union thing. So it's just more of like, it feels more like a law game, not necessarily talking about.
But the law only exists because of the unionization that happened in the Minions.
Yeah, but we didn't really develop what the Union itself looks like.
We got to think of it about a name about minions going in and holding their bosses accountable.
I'm trying to figure out how to implement objection.
Minionize.
Minionize. There you go. Okay, Minionize. Minionize. Okay, sweet. That's our fucking game, man. Let's go to patch notes. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Patch Notes. AJ, you're a terrible friend. You know why?
Probably because
you never send me things. You never give me new content to digest or recommendations. I know we talked about Final Fantasy VII for an hour before this podcast, but that doesn't count because it's not a podcast, AJ.
It's also not free is the problem. Like, when's the last time I gave you something that was free?
I don't know. I
gave you a free noogie last time we talked.
I think the last time I gave you a free thing was when we were talking about Dungeons and Daddy's podcast, but I don't think you've given me a podcast yet.
All right, you know what?
That's your cue. Give me the podcast.
I got a cool podcast for you. It's called Spiritual Successor.
Oh, holy shit! I've never heard of that.
I've also never heard of it until just now. Right now, when I said it out loud, I've said it and it came into the universe.
Oh man!
And you know what? I, like any good friend, am going to share this podcast with you. Here you go, Blake.
And you
Check
know what? By doing
Successor,
and by doing that, our ties as a friends will go on another day.
Now, I'm sure all of you that
tomorrow,
are listening...
you have to recommend me. Wait, I need to finish that sentence or else it sounds really gloated. Fuck! You gotta
Nope, too late. Now, if you're listening to this podcast and you're thinking, man, I sure do wish that I had a friendship and bond as strong and powerful as Blake and AJ's invincible friendship bond, just do what we just did.
Guilt trip your friends into listening to a podcast today. Make them feel bad and give them a podcast to listen to.
Oh, make your friends feel bad and give them this podcast and then demand a podcast in return. This is a win-win for everybody.
There you go.
You get to recommend our show and they're going to recommend something good for you in return.
All right, that's going to do it this week, everybody.
Thank you all so much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as Blake and I had. If you want to check out our intro and outro music, you can find that on Spotify, and it's by Anamanaguchi. The song is called Cheap Shop, and it's an excellent song from an excellent band for an excellent game. I have been your host, AJ Hart.
And I have been your other host, Blake Rhea.
This has been Spiritual Successor, and these are...
Oh, fuck. Oh,
well,
shit.
What are you doing? Bro, that's my fucking part of the line.
Sorry, I was in like
We've
solo.
been doing this for over a year, Blake.
I was in solo mode because I felt our friendship was on the rocks for a moment.
How could our friendship be on the rocks? We just shared a podcast.
I mean, but I'm still feeling scars don't heal instantly, AJ. Just these are
keep your shit together for like 30 more seconds, please.
My cat's barring down my door. I need to finish this.
This has been Spiritual Successor, and these are cool games
that should not be made. See how easy that was?
That's Jesus. So easy. Fuck. God damn it, Blake. Dude, I expected better.